Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Becoming One. I'm your host, Jimmy V, and today I want to talk with you a little bit about intermittent fasting. Kind of like to talk about what is intermittent fasting? What are some of the benefits? What did I do to help it make it easier for me? And I kind of want to share with you some of the results that I've seen. So, that being said, let's get into it. First, let me preface this by saying I am not a doctor. I am not giving out medical advice. I am in no way, shape, or form an expert. This is purely educational, and I just want to be able to share my experience and some of my results with you in hopes that you might be able to get something out of it. So, what is intermittent fasting? Well, if you look at the Greek word for fast, it means to cover the mouth, meaning that you don't allow something in the mouth. And so that's what fasting is. It's basically closing your mouth and preventing something from going in. The most common form of fasting is to prevent food from going into your mouth. Some people do, like, they'll fast from nicotine, they'll fast from caffeine, they'll fast from sodas, and various different things. And so that's basically what fasting is. But what is intermittent fasting? Well, intermittent fasting is fasting for a certain amount of time intermittently. A little bit here, a little bit there, and a little bit there. So a lot of common fasting time frames are 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 36 hours. Some people fast for days, all right? The intermittent fasting, it really isn't a focus on how much time that you go without food, but more of when you eat. Not how much or what, but when you eat. Here's an example. I actually had someone tell me that if you were to eat 4 hours before you go to bed and eat 4 hours after you get up, if you get 8 hours of sleep, guess what? There's your 16-hour fast. That sounds pretty easy, doesn't it? So, I mean, that is one way that you could look at it. Some people go 8 hours. Some people will get up and grab a bite to eat and then not eat for 8 hours and then grab another bite to eat. And they'll do this for a couple days a week, and then they'll eat normal the rest, and then they'll do it again for a couple days next week, and then they'll eat normal the rest of the week. That's why it's called intermittent fasting. Okay, so let's talk about some of the benefits. Well, according to UCLAHealth.org, here's a few benefits that UCLAHealth.org says intermittent fasting can help with. Improve cognitive function, like less brain fog. Decrease risk in diabetes by reducing insulin resistance, and lower blood sugar. The loss of weight and visceral fat. For those of you who don't know, visceral fat is considered to be the fat that's inside that you can't see. It's around your organs, and it is a little bit more dangerous. Another benefit is reducing blood pressure or lowering cholesterol levels. That one kind of hit home with me. And overall, reducing the inflammation in the body. So those are just a few of the benefits with intermittent fasting. So somebody might say, well, James, why would you even want to do that? And for me, it was lowering my blood pressure. Anybody who would like to shed a few pounds or slim and trim up, intermittent fasting is a great way to do so. But for me, it was weight loss and lower blood pressure. I was at 245 in the spring of this year with high blood pressure, and I'm not 245 anymore. I'm pretty excited. And this is really something that I wanted to try for quite some time. The only problem with me personally was that I didn't really feel like I had the discipline or the individual strength to be able to do something like this and stick with it. You see, I used to use tobacco. I used to chew tobacco. So I had this habit of doing this all the time. And even when I quit tobacco, I still had that habit of doing this, and I replaced it with food. And so it was hard to break this habit. It was very difficult. And then one day I met a new friend, and his name was Carnivore. Early October, I started a carnivore diet, which those of you who don't know, that is a high focus on protein. Beef, bacon, eggs, and butter. So I really focused on that for a couple of weeks. And after a couple of weeks of eating all that protein, I noticed that I wasn't getting quite as hungry anymore. Kind of find out the high protein and the meat made me satiated, or it made me not hungry as much anymore, which that was something different than before. Before I was just like, gotta eat, right? And so I was more focused on what I was eating instead of when I was eating. And so as I became more satiated and really didn't feel the drive or the need to eat, I thought, I could actually do this. So I took the recommendation that I had heard, and I tried to eat 4 hours before I went to bed and 4 hours after I get up. So I would eat at 10 a.m. in the morning and at 6 a.m. in the morning. I would make my first meal and I would take it to work with me. And then as soon as I got home, or around the 6 p.m. time frame, I would eat again. And I did this for about 7 to 14 days. And then one day I got off of that routine and I just found myself eating a little bit more throughout the day. I ate until I was pleasantly full, and that was it. And then I realized, I'm not on my schedule anymore. I'm going to get back into it. And so I did. I jumped right back in at eating at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. And it was super easy for me to do. Because by that time I was eating meat, it was satiated, I was getting full, I wasn't as hungry as much, and now all I had to do was tell myself, hey, remember, stick to your schedule of eating. Not what I was eating, but when I was eating. And so that's how intermittent fasting has the carnivore diet has really helped make it easier to fast intermittently for me. And I think it does for a lot of people. So some of my results. Well, since I started the carnivore diet and started intermittent fasting, mind you, this is from the beginning of October, and I don't exercise. I don't go out and get exercise every day. This is strictly just from from eating a carnivore diet and from watching when I eat, and intermittently, mind you, not intermittently on a daily, but on a weekly basis, a week to 2 weeks typically. I'll typically try to fast about a week, and then there will be a few days where I don't fast, and then I'll get back into it. But as far as the benefits that I have personally seen, I'm down at least 10 pounds. I'm down from a size 38 to a size 36 inch waist. So that's pretty cool. Bad problem is I only have 2 pair of jeans that fit now. But I got 2 pair of jeans. I've got a belt with extra notches that I've had to poke holes in. It's a great problem to have. And last but not least, I am, a week plus 2. I'm 9 days without any blood pressure medication. Let me run those by you again. Down 10 pounds, down to a size 36 inch in the waist. 9 days with no blood pressure medication. For me, those are huge benefits. I hope that some of what I've shared with you today you will find helpful. If you did, or you enjoyed the content, please do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you'll know whenever more content is uploaded. Until the next time, I'm Jimmy V. I'm signing off. Have a good evening.